Welcome back to our straight shooting gear review of the Speedy Stitcher sewing awl. I'm Chris Anderson of Pursuit Hunting, your host and reviewer. Thanks for coming back. Let's continue our review. But now, what is it used for? You can repair just about any kind of material with this. I'm talking thick leather, I'm talking rubber, canvas, heavy nylon, webbing. I'm going to do a demonstration in a little bit, showing you how to do that with some nylon webbing. Give you just a couple examples of things that I've used it to repair in the recent past. This is a little case here that I keep my GPS, and I keep a compass and maps and all of my navigation gear in here. Well, the straps tore off of it, so I was able to use my Speedy Stitcher and sew it up there and there. This is a Gerber multi-tool. Like the tool, hate the sheath. Sheath's a piece of crap, but didn't want to have to buy a new one when both ends of the strap pulled off of that, so I sewed those back up. This is my old faithful hunting knife. I've had this knife for, I don't know, 30 years or so. But if you look right here, you can see that there's double stitching. Well, the sheath had started to pull apart from sitting on it and bending it over. And I used a Speedy Stitcher to sew that back up. So that's probably one of my better sewing jobs there, primarily because I already had holes that I could go back through on that. And here's one that I did just recently on my son's insulated bibs. He got a little excited one morning and exuberant, trying to get into them. Not trying to get out of them like you might think for whatever reason, but he was trying to get into them and ran his foot through the zipper and tore it all down through here. And actually, if you can see there, it actually broke the zipper. But I was able to, kind of coax things back into place, and then took the sewing awl and stitched across there and sewed it back up here where all the insulation is not falling out and everything holds together. So, these are $40, $50 coveralls that would not have worked very well if the zipper was not functional. It wouldn't keep the heat in. So, I saved $50, $60 right there just to being able to repair that. It took me all of maybe 10 minutes to do it. And that was including figuring out how I was going to do it. So, like I said, this is a serious piece of gear. This is not your wife's sewing kit, and it's going to definitely save you money over time. All right, we'll switch gears now, and I'm going to talk about. I'm going to show you how to use it, and I'm going to give you a practical example of what I would use this for. This is I'm going to back this out just a little bit so that you can see better. This is just a common tie-down strap, and you can see that this one has broke through right here. Well, not a really high dollar item, and I'd probably just throw it away, except that kind of offends my sensibilities. And the other thing is, I've got an application for a shorter strap. I use this to tie my four-wheeler down on a trailer, and I can actually use a shorter strap on the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this end off of this hook, and I'm going to sew it up. You can see how, I don't know if you can see that in there or not. There you go. You can see how this is stitched right here. I'm basically going to duplicate that with my Speedy Stitcher. So I'm going to take out my handy Leatherman tool here, original vintage Leatherman. I'm just going to cut this off here. Try not to cut my finger at the same time. All right, got that free. Now all I'm going to do is take my strap, cross it over with enough room to give myself some room to sew here. All right, here's how easy this thing is to use. What I'm going to do is I'm basically going to sew a box. We're going to cut to the end of it after I show you a couple stitches here, but all you got to do, well, it's really a lot easier than that. Just push the needle through here. Like this. You can see that's some pretty tough stuff. It takes a little push to get through. And then pull on your first stitch. You're going to pull the thread through. And I'm going to give myself, because I've got quite a bit of stitching, I'm going to pull a fair amount of thread through the end here, basically enough to kind of cover the length of the area that I'm going to sew, and then some. Okay, and then I'm going to start stitching. And the way I do that is I just go over and make it, stick the needle back through, and then when I pull the needle out part way, you can see how a loop forms there. All I do is I take the free end that I've just pushed through, run it through that loop, and pull it tight. Okay, and then I just keep repeating that. And usually what I'll do is I'll start on the other side here where I can see what I'm doing, where the last stitch was. Run it through there, hopefully without running it into my finger. Look for the loop. See that loop there? Run the end through and pull it down. Alright, I'm going to shut the camera off and finish sewing this up, and I'll turn it back on when I'm about done. That's all the time we have for part 2. Check back with us for part 3, and don't forget to visit us online at pursuithunting.blogspot.com for links to all the products we review and lots of useful straight shooting hunting information.